Good afternoon. Today is the 7th of June. It's a little bit on the chilly side today for the time of year, so the jumper's back on. And it's time to have another update on the best-selling cars of the previous month. Let's talk about May 2019. Overall, May 2019 does continue the established trends that have been happening so far this year. So the overall market, compared with the previous year, was down about 4.6%, with around 184,000 cars being sold in Britain. Majority of cars in Britain are actually sold to the fleet market. Private sales don't make up as many as you might imagine. And across the board, diesel is down by 18%, but that's not really a surprise. The decline's slowing every month, actually. Petrol's up by 1%, and alternative fuel vehicles are up by about 12%. So the general trends that have been going on for the last few months seem to be continuing. The best-selling cars for the month are the Ford Fiesta on 6,700 cars, the Ford Focus on 5,556 cars, then the Volkswagen Golf 4,655. I think probably the fact that the Focus is second and the Golf is third is down to the fact that the Golf is getting very old now and people know there's a replacement due later this year. The Vauxhall Corsa, that's on about 4,000 cars. I'm amazed the Corsa just keeps on selling. I mean, the basic design dates back to 2006, but you know, they do have some very good deals on it, and they're pretty willing to shift those before the all-new model comes along very soon, and that looks very nice. Then it gets very close after that. Mercedes A-Class, 3,735. Nissan Qashqai, 3,636. Mercedes C-Class, that's someone that hasn't been in the top 10 for a while, but maybe it's due to the new facelifted model that's come out recently. 3,387. Nissan Juke, gosh, I can't believe a Nissan Juke is in the top 10. I mean, it's a popular car in its class, but it's almost 10 years old. That said, I'm reviewing one of those next month, so I will see if it's any good or not. Then there's the Polo, 2,902. And the Volkswagen Tiguan 2,785. Again, lots of Volkswagens, that's not a surprise. Nissan Juke, perhaps they're trying to get rid of those cars before the all-new model arrives. But yes, not much changed to report from those who've been following these logs for the last few months. Another thing that stayed very similar is the general manufacturer trends. So we start always with FCA, Fiat Chrysler automobiles, and we can see that Abarth is down 69.77%. That's probably due to the fact that the Abarth 124 Spider has been discontinued, and the Abarth 595 and 695, which are based on the Fiat 500, are really old now. Alfa Romeo is down 24%. They really need to sort their marketing out. James Martin's been JM on Cars is doing a really good vlog on what Alfa Romeo should do to try to increase their market presence in Britain. If you want to watch that, I'll link that in the description below. Audi's down 8%. Maybe their new e-tron will boost some sales of that. Citroen's plus 5.33%. That's excellent. They are releasing some interesting new cars. I'm not sure if I'd personally kind of go out and buy one yet, but you know, they seem to be pretty interesting. Dacia's up by 5.21% in a increasingly uncertain market. I'm sure that very cheap brands will continue to do well. DS, they've just released the new DS3 Crossback, and Planet Auto had one of those recently, and they quite liked it, so I hope that increases their sales because they're down by 45.34%. Fiat's down 4.8%. That's pretty average to the market, so it's not really any different. Ford's down by 5.89%. Possibly they'll get some more sales when they have their new Cougar and Puma coming out later this year. Honda's down by 26.7%. That is a bit of a shame because Honda used to be one of the best brands of car, I think, in this country until they were replaced in the kind of dependability stakes. People like Hyundai, who are this month down by 7.03%, but they seem to switch places with their manufacturing partner Kia in terms of one going up and one going down. Probably the biggest overall loss that I've seen, apart from Abarth, is Infiniti, who just, said they're going to withdraw from the UK market entirely very soon, and they're down 52%. Not a surprise, really. Jaguar was down by 5%. The XJ is going to be replaced by an all-new model later in the year or early next year, I think. That should be interesting. Jeep bucks the sort of FCA trend by being up by 13%. It's probably due to their facelifted Renegade model that's been out recently with some new engines. Kia, as I said, Kia and Hyundai often switch in this chart. One is up, one is down. But in this particular instance, it looks like Kia is actually up by 8.3%, which is great. They make superb cars with long warranties. Land Rover's down by 7.57%. Hopefully the new Evoque will stimulate some sales to them. Lexus is up by 10.81%, possibly due to the fact they've got probably more hybrids than their lineup than anyone else. Lotus is up by 25%. I'm sure that'll be good news for lots of people, even if they haven't released their new models yet. I'm optimistic about the future of that company. It should be good under the new ownership. Maserati's down by 3.61%. Again, that's not as bad as it could have been, given the 4.6% market drop overall. Mazda's up by 8.85%. They've been on a decline for quite a while, and their new Mazda 3's come out, which looks lovely. So that's good for them. Mercedes up by 7.8%. That's reflected in the fact that the C-Class is actually in the top 10 for this month. MG, no surprise there. They're up by 49.45% over 2018, and they've just released their new ZS EV model. That's being officially sent to dealerships in about September, and I'm hoping to get one of those in for review actually around the time, because one of my friends has just ordered one. Mitsubishi's up by 23%. Again, that could be because the Outlander PHEV is a very big selling car, despite the fact the government grants for plug-in hybrid electric vehicles have been eliminated. It could be that they're just riding this wave of the fact that when somebody thinks of a PHEV, they think Mitsubishi. Nissan down by 10.86%, although Qashqai is still selling well. So for Duke, apparently. So I suppose it could be worse. Peugeot's minus 3.47%. Now that isn't too bad, as I said, but I think their new cars, like the 3008, 5008 and 508, they look pretty nice. So hopefully they'll be able to continue to go positive rather than negative. Porsche is down by about 20%. Renault's down by 25%. Not quite sure why. Seat's down by 3.5%. They are releasing supposedly a new Leon later this year or early next year, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Skoda's down by 1.67%. That's actually, again, not too bad, because they've been down more than that over the last few months. And they don't even have a model in the Ford Focus sector at the moment, because Rapid's been discontinued, Rapid Spaceback, and the Skoda Scott, as far as I know, its replacement hasn't really been released yet. So that'll probably increase their sales somewhat. I'm looking forward to seeing one of those soon as well. Ssangyong, they're down by 43.2%. Now, this is a massive shame. Ssangyong has some very strange marketing. It's very difficult, apparently, and also in my own experience, to get hold of Ssangyong cars for review. A lot of other automotive YouTube reviewers have said this as well, and we did try to get hold of one this week when I was with Ben Quirk from Planet Auto. I'm hoping that will be sort of reversed, and you'll see one of those on one of the channels that I hang around with soon. But yeah, the marketing that they're doing at the moment in terms of not really letting journalists drive their cars seems to be a bit strange. Subaru, they're down by 40%. They're going to, I think, transform possibly into an electric vehicle brand quite soon, because the sort of shrinking market they have in this country is not very sustainable. Suzuki's up by 1.73%, which is excellent. They've got some really good models. Toyota's up by 6.85%. That might be due to a new Corolla that's just been out, which is mainly hybrids, and the new RAV4 that looks nice. Vauxhall's down by 3.73%. Possibly when the new Corsa comes out, that can be reversed a bit. Volkswagen is down by 13%. Maybe when the new Golf and the ID EVs are released, that will improve things for them too. Volvo's up by 25.77%. That could possibly be down to the fact that the XC40 is very good, and so is the XC90. They've got a very good range of SUV saloons and estates at the moment, Volvo. The biggest increase of all is actually Bentley. They're up by 80% over 2018 this month, which is brilliant. It's possibly the new Continental GT that has boosted their sales somewhat. Or the other side, Smart, again, probably quite a minority brand. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of pack up and just shut up shop quite soon, to be honest. They're down by about 21% for May 2019. So I hope you found that video informative. I've just found out that I've reached 200 subscribers overnight, which is wonderful. Thank you so much to everybody who's been watching the videos and who has subscribed. I do hope to make a subscriber special for 200 very soon. In fact, the idea has already been out there for some time, so I hope you enjoy that when that comes. But for now, my website is www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk, and there's a contact tab on the front page of the website if you wish me to source a car. If you please use that tab to get in touch directly. I'd love to do that. The Facebook page is facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Thank you ever so much indeed for watching.